It's all cool. Young, gifted, and black, young, gifted, and African, and then other children around the way can listen to that, and they can all right, and they can sing along. All right.
Oh, you just cut out.
Okay. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning, Uncle.
Okay, let me see. Could say good morning one more time?
Good morning, Uncle.
Okay, now try it again. Say good morning one more time.
Good morning.
There it goes. Thank you. All right. I've got Emma on the phone, beautiful African sister. And she was the young lady that put on the Serious Energy Presents Masters of Empowerment. And that was Dr. Umar Johnson, Mr. Muda Baruch, and Brother Edison. And that was held that Saturday that passed at the... I can't remember it off at the top of the head. Can you help me with it?
Lighthouse.
There it goes, the Lighthouse, 262 to 274. Good morning once again.
Good morning.
Now, the question I wanted to ask you is, what made you choose to bring these powerhouses on? Because I know from what I understand that you used to be into the music industry before. Am I correct?
I'm still into that. But I'm also a conscious person, so I think consciousness is actually more important. Although, certain artists are delivering consciousness in their music, but the two can work hand in hand.
Okay, so why did you choose to go down that field and bring in these powerhouse, Dr. Umar Johnson and Mr. Muda Baruch?
I had already brought Dick Gregory and certain other people together a few years back, and so this is actually a continuation of that.
Okay, all right, because I was there and it was very enlightening.
Okay.
The information that they gave, and it was very good, and it was a good turnout, all right, and I'm just hoping that you took the time out, because I knew how stressful it was for you. Am I correct?
Most definitely. It's a major commitment, and I am a one-person operation. So, it's difficult, but has to be done, I think.
Okay. As a lone soldier, trust me, I know how hard it can be. All right? And, as I said, I'm hoping that you took the time out to bring these powerhouses to the UK for the English community, the conscious, or just the English community, to grab some of this information. How do you feel that they responded to the information that was given?
They've actually responded really well, but I actually was doing this more for the people that were unconscious than for the conscious community, and I promoted it in such a way to galvanise everyone to come, not just the conscious community, because I think if you're conscious already, the work's half done, but if you're not there yet, those are the people that I really wanted to appeal to, and I hope that a lot of those kind of people came.
Okay, the reason why I emphasize on the conscious community, because I realized there was a lot of, which I say, the Rastafarians, Nation of Islam, the Pan-Africanists, and the Nawapians. There was a lot of those people there as groups or organization or religious groups. And a lot of them would be getting up and clapping and so forth whenever Dr. Umar Johnson said something, or Muda Baruch, they'd clap. I wasn't there for Brother Edison.
He got the same kind of love.
Okay, I wasn't there, so I couldn't...
I think he was delivering something that people weren't used to hearing, but it was captivating nonetheless, and he got a lot of respect, and he's since called me to say that he's been inundated with requests, to speak.
Okay, well, as I said, I couldn't really speak on that because I wasn't there to actually hear him. Okay? But the rest of the individuals, them, and what it is that as I said, the Big Four, what I call them the Big Four, I saw them applauding. And I'm just hoping that they can grasp that information and actually do something with that information. Do you understand?
Could you repeat that? The Big Four?
When I say the Big Four, that's the Rastafarians, the Nation of Islam, Pan-Africans, and Nuwapians.
Okay.
And I saw them clapping for nearly every time Dr. Umar Johnson opened his mouth, they got up and gave him a standing ovation.
It was deserved. It was deserved. Right. I don't think that they applauded anyone that wasn't deserving of applause, but the four people that I brought together, Leo, Edison, Mutabaruka, and Dr. Umar, they're powerhouses. They are very knowledgeable in their field, and every time there was a standing ovation or clapping, it was well deserved.
Okay, so I'm just hoping that, we can take that information and actually apply it to what's going on in the UK, especially with the gun and knife crime with these youngsters getting killed, because I know that each one of them did respond and make a statement about it.
It's a difficult situation. I think that problem we have starts from the home. I think that parents need to take responsibility. It starts from the home.
Oh.
I could really get quite deep. I stopped my children having those games because the mantra is kill, 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 and most children have those, those handheld games, and they're murdering people, but it's the people they're murdering are fiction, but when it's brought into reality, into the real world, then they're killing humans, and humans don't get back up, whereas the computer graphics do get back up. And so we are, training our children by giving them those kind of games to play with from the day they're born to be killers, and who are they going to kill? The people that they interact with. They're not interacting with white people, so they're not killing those people. They're killing their friends and neighbours.
Okay. True indeed. And with this powerhouse, do you intend to do another one? Because I'd like you to do another one, all right? But nobody listens to me anyway. But I'm asking you, would you do another one? And if so...
I'd love to do another one, but I wonder why you think that nobody listens to you.
The reason why is because I've been on the radio for the last 8-9 years, and I've been regurgitating the same information from Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, and I don't see no improvement, and I don't expect no masses of people to jump up, but I do expect that at least 1 or 2 people from in and around the community that could actually go on the streets. And like, you got a group that's called G.A.N.G. I don't know if you've... Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of them came up on the stage. When I came out to see you, when I came back in, he was just about finishing. But he belonged to a group called G.A.N.G, a New Generation. Right? And he was a young man, around 25, 26. And these are the ones that they wear full black, and you see them around the neighborhoods, in the estate. They're going to be in Kilburn today at 2 p.m. at Kilburn Park. So the reason why I said nobody listens to me, because when we try to do certain things, then when you see the turnout, it's not really what you would like. Now, anything beats a blank, to be honest. But the amount of people that we've got, or a lot of people that we got in our community that belongs to these different groups, you would expect that they would turn up. And you don't see them. And that's the reason why I made that statement.
Well, to be honest, it is a hard thing to get people to come out, and that's why you've got to be strategic in the way you sell something, because you are selling a product, and therefore you have to think of what...
Can you talk up a little bit louder, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm saying that you have to be strategic in the way you deliver your information. You have to make it enticing. If you want people to take note of what you're doing, you've got to think about how you deliver it so that they want to be there. They want to see what it is you have to offer.
Well, now that is true, but I don't mince my words and I don't bite my tongue. And when I've seen youngsters dying on the streets, all right, and you find that nobody shows no interest until the police come knocking at their door. and ask them to go down to the hospital, down to the morgue to identify a body, that's when they want to show interest. And I tell it to them straight that all they do is just sit down and talk a good one. And they will talk about history, about what we've done. They will talk about the white community. They will talk about the Christian community. All right? And we've been hearing it for the umpteen years. But when
the problem is actually, as far as I'm concerned, the problem begins with the parents. We're talking about the children. It's the parents. The parents know if they've got a child that's out of control.
You believe so?
Yes, of course I do. I have 2 children. I know if they were out of control, and I kind of rein them in, you know. And if you don't do that, and if you didn't do that because you were out of control, and you actually are proud of your child when they're out of control, that's not going to stop them. But if you have a parent, I'm a single parent, so it doesn't have to be, you have to have 2 parents. You just have to have one parent that knows right from wrong. And it's as simple as that. You know, you've got to have a parent that knows right from wrong. If the child comes home and says, oh, they've had a fight, they want to delve into that. Why did you have the fight? Couldn't you have talked about it? Why? Don't harm another. I brought my children up saying, don't hit anybody. Do not hit anybody.
But you see, sorry, I can hear where you're coming from, right? But first of all, I look at it from this perspective. You've got a lot of single mothers out there that's got 3 and 4 children, and maybe for 3 and 4 different baby fathers, right? And they got to work and look after these children, and the men are not around. And so now when she's going to work, right, what happens to the children? Now basically they're like what they call latchkey children. They walk with their key, they let themselves home from school, so it's going to be hard for her to monitor them. That's one aspect. The other aspect is that some of these children, including myself, we were good as gold, because I had a mother that if I acted up too tough, she'd put her foot knee up in my ass and say, as long as you black, you don't do this again. Alright? But the thing is, when I went out on the streets, we were like little devils. So how do we end up blaming the parents when the society itself has said you can't chastise your own children?
Yeah, you don't have to chastise your children. It's not about chastising them physically. It's about
talking to them
and getting through to their mental faculty.
But what if you 7 brothers, 7 different minds, and you've got 6 of them that's willing to listen, but you've got the other one, like Julia here states in an American conference, right?
Yeah.
That you're going to have one that's going to want to challenge you. And back in the... Yeah, go ahead.
I'd say that that's okay, because children are supposed to challenge you, and in actual fact, the children are... they're a carbon copy of their parents. So actually, if you've got a child that's off the rails, you need to start looking at yourself and seeing where you went wrong.
But my mother wasn't off the rail. My father, basically, my mother and my father were squares.
And so, what are you saying? You're off the rail?
Yes, I went off the rails. And there was there's a whole bunch of growing up in the United States and in the UK that we was off the rails. But when we go to when you go to the parents' house, they were hard working, what we call squares, nice, decent citizens.
Okay, so you're the person then. You know yourself, and you know what caused you to be off the rail. So you're the kind of person that needs to be speaking to others that are off the rail. And
True.
you need to be bringing your life to them and explaining to them what happened to you when you went off the rail, so
right.
that they can see it.
This is what I said. I have a soundbite. I don't know if you've ever heard me play this. I don't know if you can hear it.
Me, man, and Nigel, Miss Dirty Son. Hey, you see that song the way I just play a while ago, yo? Pull it up again for me and the charge of them, you know, they are all a nice vibes, Barry, man.
All right. Did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Now I play that. Now, it's people like ourselves that's been in the schools of hard knocks and the trenches that need to come out and talk to the youngsters. So this is what I say is that a lot of them, when they come home, they glorify the prison. Can you hear me, or did I lose you?
No, I heard you.
Okay. No, because somebody had calling. I did. They glorify it. So that's why what I'm saying is that, yes, you're correct. And not only that, what we need is we need the Rastafarians and the Nation of Islam, but mainly the Rastafarians, because we're not going to get nowhere without their help. And I'm very critical in my critique of them, because I know that without them, it's just going to be a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never obtained. We're not going to get them. We need them. So
well, you see, I don't think that it belongs. I don't think that that's there for them to grapple with. I mean, they can help like everyone else can help, but it has to start at the home. It has to start at home, and parents have to be. They have to stop thinking that their children are innocent, and they have to watch their children carefully and be able to see when the child is not what they're portraying to them.
But how do they do that when they, for an example I gave, you got a mother that's got to hold down 2 jobs and she's got 4 children.
But you see, you're saying that, but I think that a lot of the children that kill others have 2 parents, and it's.
Well, that even make it worse, because they're good at gold in the house. They're nice, decent, well-behaving children. The mother says, "Little Johnny, take out the garbage." "Yes, Mom." Daddy says, "And don't forget to do this, and don't forget." "Yes, Daddy." But when they go out, and it's not a sweeping down, because I know that you need 2 parents. But what I'm saying, though, is that some of these youngsters, they're good as gold when they're in the house. It's when they go out on the streets, they act up.
I don't know if all of them are good as gold. I think that some of them behave the same way in the house, and the parents let them get away with it.
Of course, because they could make a sweeping indictment and say they're all good. You understand?
Yeah.
And so, therefore, that it's a lot. But all I'm trying to say is that if we had powerhouses like Dr. Umar Johnson and Muda Baruka talking to the people about many, like even the Black Pound, right? As an example, not to take it somewhere else. But we've been hearing about spend black, and yet still, if somebody opens up a shop, if you notice, between I'm going to say the big 4, right? They don't have one business in Northwest London, but yet still, and when I mean business, like shops, them or anything.
Say that again. What? You talked about the Black Pound, and
the Black Pound. What I'm saying is, okay, let's look at it this perspective. And I'm not going
they don't have something in Harlem. What was that? They don't have in
Well, you don't see no Nation of Islam have any shops in Harlem. You don't see.
I doubt that they have that many.
They don't have none. Name
but, I mean, I mean, you say it as if it's simple. It's not simple.
No, but the point is,
things like business rates and that are killers. So it's not easy to just open a shop.
No,
There's lots of overheads that can cripple you.
No, true indeed, but true indeed. But when you go in here and speak about, because they're the ones and as I keep saying, the big 4, they're the ones that's talking about the Black Pound and how much Black Pounds we have. Right? And we're supposed to spend it amongst our own. And yet still, with all that billions that's out there, if the Nation of Islam or the Rastafarians or the Nawapians that open up a shop, or Pan-African, the same people that's clapping is not supporting them. Look at Levi Roots. I never purchased nothing from Levi Roots. Have you ever bought reggae sauce?
Yeah, I have countless times.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I'll give you a round of applause. I've never bought it. And yes, I could be talking about the Black Pound. And there's a lot of people like myself. That's why he had to go to Dragon's Den and get Peter Jones.
That example you gave actually isn't a good one, because he's the figurehead, but it's not really a Black Pound, is it? Do you know?
No, but you see, the reason why I raised it is because if that billions that we're talking about, the Black Pound, he wouldn't have to go to Dragon's Den and Peter Jones. The black community would have supported him. That Black Pound would have supported him. But the Black Pound didn't.
He did get support, but he just wanted a bigger platform.
But this is what I'm saying. You didn't need it. If you're talking about billions, because we're not talking about thousands, we're talking about billions, not millions.
Well, a business is not an easy thing. It takes vision and hard work and money, and a lot of people don't have the initial funds that you need to start up, and we don't have a way of getting money. If you're a white person, you can walk into any bank and they will support you if you have the most brilliant idea as a black person, you still have a hurdle to climb if you went to try to borrow some money from a bank. So we have a mountain to climb anyway. So I'm not going to be thinking that it's easy to just set up a business, because it isn't. And black or white business, the majority of them fail within a year. So it's not an easy thing, and I would never like say to people, oh, why haven't you done this? Because it's easy. It's not easy. It's hard. And anyone that succeeds, you know that they've really grasped hard to make that success.
Well, you know what Marcus Garvey said? We race of cowards, you race of good for nothing, you race of imbeciles. If you can't do what everybody else has done, then you deserve to die. So by me mentioning that is that we need to take a page from them. And all that black pound that people's talking about, if you notice, most of those shops, restaurants, are African Caribbean people that has them shops, but they're not from a religious group. And they're doing what they have to do.
I don't buy into religion, actually. So,
Pardon me?
I don't buy into religion.
No, I wasn't saying you per se, but I was just saying that. When I listen,
I think that's part of our problem. You know, the wider problem is people believe in this sham that's got us imprisoned in our minds. You have to shake off those shackles of slavery and realise that it's not. There's no Jesus. And Jesus is not coming back. You know, get real.
No, we understand that. And just to call it a wrap, the reason why I say it, now there's a place in Bath, I don't know if you're familiar with the Rastafarian house in Bath, Fairfield House. All right? And it was the home of His Imperial Majesty from 1936 to 1941. Correct? All right? Are you familiar with that?
I've heard you talk about it. I don't know.
Now, look at that as an example. The council want to take it back because nobody's showing no interest in that building. And yesterday, if we had the Jewish community, they take care of their synagogue. You have the Christian, they take care of their church. You have the Muslim that take care of their mosque. And here we've got now His Imperial Majesty's where he resided, and yet still the people in that I saw clapping as Rastafarians and talking about the black pound. How are they going to allow something like that to happen, that they're going to lose something that they look at Selassie as a great person or as a god? All right?
Well,
so that's the reason why I come out and I hit out, I say what I say, and I make no apologies for it. I apologize if I upset them, but not what comes out of my mouth.
Well, the fact is, to take control of the building, you need funds. So, you know, you'd have to appeal to maybe people that have money, because if people don't have any money,
then
they're not going to be able. Well, you're talking about the black pound, but you can't use it as a collective. Like I've got a few thousand, you've got a few thousand, you've got £5, you've got £10. You can't do it like that. It's got to be one person, perhaps, who's got enough to be able to change things.
Every mickle and a muckle adds up. So if you've got £1 here or £2 there, it all comes with so many when we're talking about the people that be talking about the black pound, they're the one that's got this information. So they're the one that's supposed to say, let's put £1 here, £1 there, and £1 there, and support that brother that owns up whether it be a Nation of Islam or Rastafarian,
I'd have
to support it.
Dr. Umar's tried that, and he's been castigated. So, you know, you can try to get the community to contribute. And then when things don't go the way they want in a quick enough time, you know, all kinds of problems break out. Okay. You know, for me, it would be better if someone, you're aware of someone in the community that has all the money, you know, and you go to them and you get them to, you know, to be involved, and so that there's someone that's bought the building, and then you've worked out how you're going to run it from there.
Well, that's simple, all right? Because we've got in our community, and I'm going to use Levi Roots. Nobody cares. I don't care if he valued $35 million. He put it out in the public domain that he valued $35 million.
But that doesn't mean it's true.
No. Well, I'm just saying from what is being put out there. I don't know, but I'm saying even if he doesn't value $35 million, we know all these products is in Tesco's and some of these big supermarkets, and he's working with Peter John, that's a multi-millionaire. But what I'm saying is, even if he was to take up $1 million, now there's nothing underneath the law ethical to say that he has to do this. But from a moral perspective, if he was to take up 1 million and go to some of these football players that he knows, that's driving 4 Mercedes Benz, having 3 houses and 3 white women, all right? If he was to go to them and say, well, all right, you value this, but all we're asking you for is 100,000. He goes to people like Stormzy, that's valued $1 million or something like that, and say, well, all right, give me a 50,000. Go to people like Dizzy Rascal, give me a 50,000. We've got places in northwest London down by Park Royal, which are factories. All he had to do was open up one of those factories and put it under tax exemption as a charity, which he can do. Right? And then he does his own Dragon Den. And he'll be able to, anybody under the age of 25 years old, pardon me, under the age of 25 years old, that have an idea, he could take 5%, do a Dragon's Den. Take 5%, 10%, and that youngster that's going to open up a business, that's going to get an office in that building, they have to hire another young black person.
Well, you know, the way you put it sounds simple enough.
It is.
But obviously, well, it's not because you haven't done it. You know, it sounds
no. The only reason why, sorry, Emma, the only reason why I mentioned that is because you said we should go to somebody that's got the money.
Precisely, but when you go to that person, you then have to convince them of the merits of what you're expressing, and you know you have to captivate them too. Do you know what I mean?
Well, hopefully somebody like yourself, since I can't do it, and listen, really and truly, Levi Roots wouldn't have to listen to a word I got to say, because I've never purchased a bottle of reggae sauce. So he's going to say, I don't have the right. It would say, you have the nerve and the audacity to come to me and tell me what I should do when you didn't even purchase a...
Well, I wouldn't tell him what, you know, I wouldn't approach it that way. If you have a plan, the thing is to formulate the plan, and when the plan is fully set, then you take the plan and you give these people the plan that you formulated and let them read through it, you know, and it's not a matter of forcing them to come on board. You just give it to them, let them read it, and if it grabs their attention, then they will be on board. But you know, the person who takes it to them has to have that upright personality that they can trust them, because it is a matter of trust. Well, and the problem is that most times you trust a person only to find that they're lacking in, you know, credibility or whatever.
Well, see, that was the question I posed to Dr. Umar Johnson and asked him. Dr. Umar Johnson, and I asked him, what about Beyonce? Because Jay-Z comes from Bed-Stuy, right? Between him and Beyonce, they've almost valued $1 billion. Jay-Z could put up $1 million. Beyonce put up $1 million. Rihanna put up...
They actually do a lot for charity. They do so much.
No, we got to hear about it. No, what I'm saying is that they're doing for charity, but the charity is a diverse charity, and you don't really...
No, they've got their own... They you know, because I follow them quite closely, and they do a lot, and they actually do a lot behind the scenes.
No, but we don't need them to do behind the scenes. We need that they stand up front so that everybody can see what they're doing and follow suit. That means that if he was to open up a factory in Bed-Stuy, where the project he come from around Marcy Projects, what he usually do is go down there.
But he's got multiple businesses.
No, yes, but he's not putting it in the black community. You name me one factory that he's got in the black community where he's hiring me or somebody else so that we could feed our children. Name me one in Bed-Stuy or New Lots or Brownsville that any one of them, the Mike Tyson and all these individuals that's got this money, name me one factory that they put up in the black community so that people then can feed their children. Please.
Well, I think that they're doing what they can. They don't have to have your vision, but as long as
it wasn't nothing to do with my vision. It wasn't nothing to do with my vision. It was just that you saying that they're doing certain things. And I'm saying,
of course they are. I know that for sure. And I know that you know, they see people trying to do something, and a lot of things that they do in secret, because they don't want the plaudits for it. They just want to help behind the scenes. You know, so I've seen that. You know, it's not always those that are, you know, standing and banging their chest who are doing the most. A lot of people are doing a lot in secret because they want to do the work without you know, people applauding them for
But you see, this is what the question I had posed to Dr. Umar Johnson, and he said they don't want to talk to him because they know where he's coming from. He said he gives a little accolades to Jay-Z, but the rest of them, because I had asked him about Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, and he said they wouldn't want to be in the same room because they know how he's going to approach them. And I can know
those people, the kind of people you're talking about, they're embedded with white society, so they couldn't be seen to be
exactly.
Black. I mean,
and a lot of them don't want to rock the boat because they have their publicity.
So they're not the people to approach. It can't be that you're approaching those type of people. And just because a person has a lot of money, that doesn't mean their mindset is correct.
Exactly. So go back to the original question was that you saying the people that instead of us collectively as a body with a black pound, we should go to maybe an individual that has that money. And that's why I raised individuals like Levi Roots and Dizzy Storm and some of these football players, and saying that they can. And you were saying about our approach and that they don't have to do this, and I'm just saying that they may have that white supremacy mindset.
The problem it's difficult because, for a start, the football players and perhaps Levi Roots as well, are with white women. So, you know, a person that's with a white woman isn't going to have the greater good of the black community.
But you see, the thing is, maybe so, but it's the black community that helped bring up their names, like them soccer players. I listen to other radio stations, and you hear some of these black presenters talking about football players and this and that and the whole 9 yards. And even if they're with a Caucasian woman, do you, if that's what you want to be. But you can't
if they're
say
with a Caucasian woman, then they're
not necessarily. Yeah,
their first loyalty is to the white man.
But then, therefore, but when you see them out there on the circuit, a lot of them is with black people, and it's the black people, the ones that we don't hold them accountable, and that's the reason why they do what they do. Because if we was holding them accountable, they would squeeze off and say, all right, I'm with my Caucasian female, cool, all right, cool, all right, but you know what, I can squeeze off a little change, even if, because they still come back to the community one way or another. Anyway, Miss Emma, Lady Emma, I don't know, I usually like to call y'all give y'all a Queen Emma, let me put it that way, Queen Emma. I'm gonna have to, before I do that, I want to do this for you. Take a listen.
Before you
listen,
go,
1 second.
I wanted to ask you something, actually.
1 second. 1 second. I wanted to give you a round of applause as you, as a lone soldier, decide to take up a task like what you took. And I know it's inundated, it was hard. So I just wanted to give you a round of applause for that. Now you may go ahead.
I wanted to ask you who that brilliant poet is that you play every time you're starting your program.
A poet?
What's the name of the poet? Yeah. You start your program with a poet, and you play it throughout your show the same. In fact, you put up the Umar Johnson Moose Brooker interview on YouTube, and you had that same poet.
Oh, you mean Jaja Soze? Just like me, it's Jaja Soze.
How do I spell his name?
It's Jaja, J-A-J-A. I think one, let me see if this is the one that you talk. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. You might be able to hear it from where you at.
Yeah.
After so many years of being used and abused, disrespected by the Christians, Muslims and Jews, you won't ever understand me until you walk into my shoes. How to change our empires into gangs.
All right. That is Jaja, that's J-A-J-A, Soze.
Well, yes.
S-O-Z-E.
Okay, so how do I contact him?
I don't know. I think he was part of a group that was over in Brixton somewhere. But because you would be able to get that. You can maybe ask Leon Muhammad and some of them. They may be able to direct you out to get in contact with him.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And as I said, hopefully that you can put on another one like this. And hopefully, you know, the people turn out just like that and so forth. All right? And you get a little bit more help.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you for calling in. You have a pleasant one. And you take care now, all right?
Okay, and you. Bye.
Bye-bye. And that is Sister Queen Emma. All right? Yes, she took the time out to put something together for the community. All right, now hopefully after the 11 o'clock news, I will have, this is what's going on. Where is it? Let's do this real quick. Arm and a leg. Arm and a leg. Work with me. I'll make you civilized if you don't want to work with me. If I throw you down the toilet, you'll work. Take a listen.
This is a Gang Guide, the new generation announcement. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th, 2 p.m. Kilburn Park, we are going to be linking up. I said tomorrow, Friday the 13th, 2 p.m. Kilburn Park, we are going to be linking up to do the Northwest West London Rider. As you know what we've been doing already. We've been to North London, Tottenham, we've been to Hackney, we've been to South London. Tomorrow we are going to be in Northwest West London. So all of our people from the Northwest London community that wants to come out and support us in what we stand for, which is the youth, come and support us tomorrow. 2 p.m. Kilburn Park Station is the link up. All of our brothers and sisters that came out to North, East and South, feel free to come and link up with us and join us out there on the front line, because you know what we do, yeah? So all I'm going to say is gang, guide the new generation. Gang, gang, gang.
Peace. Alright, take this out. I'm going to play this and I'll catch you on the rebound, alright?
After so many years of being used and abused, disrespected by the Christians, Muslims and Jews, you won't ever understand me until you walk into my shoes. How they change our empires into gangs and crews. Got blacks killing blacks like we forgot who's who. How can you want to kill me, brother? I'm just like you. That gun on your waist is looking extra mean, but use that against me makes you the devil's machine. My mom's struggling at home, just like you. My daddy left when I was young, just like you. I done crime so I could buy clothes, just like you. Look at my skin color, are you crazy? I'm just like you. And this ain't nothing about being smart. We was born with clean hearts. You want some insight? Check out John Hendrik Clark or political prisoners Mumia Abu Jamal. You see, you're quick to kill me, but would you kill a policeman that locks you up, beats you up and gives you grief, fam? Nah, I didn't think so. That's right, you're a waste, man. Nah, you ain't a G, bro. You work for the state, fam. All I see on TVs is rappers beefing, when really we should be having an agenda meeting. Opening up schools and university teachings. Instead we're flashing diamonds out here misleading. Forgetting our ancestor died for freedom bleeding. We got forced here, so how come we ain't leaving? Look at yourself, my brother. You can be something. Instead you're just killing yourself, watching your ship sink. If this was back in the days, I'd probably blow your face off. But that's how they want us to think, young, dumb and chaos. Hear what, my brother? Don't get upset. Just get re-educated and change your thought process. I look around at these brothers and it gets me stressed. The masculinity is gone, they soon be wearing a dress. They got us living off finance just to impress. Running around lost with guns and a bulletproof vest. Can't you see, they love us being dumbass thugs, when really we can communicate with the stars above. They got us running around banging like the Crips and Bloods, making us unaware of the power that's in melanin blood. I bet you got kids, but do you even see them? Leaving that brainwashed sister alone to feed them? While you're here now, she probably sleeping with Michael. You hate the system, but still you're helping the cycle. I bet those jeans you got on cost half your rent. But yeah, I bet your house is dirty, broken, bent. Hold up, does that gun say Smith & Wesson? Shouldn't they be held responsible for kids dying every second? Nah, they're probably enjoying life sitting on the beach while you're gassed in the ghetto somewhere bragging about your heat. Remember, you wanted to be a scientist. What happened to your dream? Instead you're rolling around like a dickhead, banging for a team. You can call me a hypocrite, but still I'm working on my dean. I made many mistakes like you, but now my heart's clean. Okay, you got the gun to my head, kill me right now. Go ahead, you coward. Click, click, blow. I like girls and getting money, just like you. I wore hand-me-downs in school, just like you. I feel lost, lonely, confused, just like you. I'm trying to move my mum out of the hood, just like you. What does that card say? Valentine's Day? Chicks getting dressed up? Weaving hairspray? I heard Valentine's gay. Even played with kids, I guess that was just his way. On Valentine's Day, what are you celebrating? Easter is worse, the Romans was masturbating with orgies and now it's changed to chocolate eggs. The whole of you is crazy, you must have lost your head. Oh Lord, don't let me start on Christmas. They raped our brains, took our money and dissed us. A fat man in a red suit climbing down your roof. Oh my days, we're so far from the truth. If I ever see Satan Claus, I'll kick him off my roof. Throw a brick at the reindeers, dash him in my boot.
All this brainwashing goes back to the bankers, congestion, police force, tax and clampers. These people watching right now would love you to kill me, so they can go back to their friends and say you're a real G. But inside your heart, I'm not down to crime. You're only carrying the gun because you're scared of dying. Yeah, you got a big car, but the petrol's killing you. And that pretty dumb chick you got that's always drilling you, I bet if you went to jail, she wouldn't be feeding you. She will find the next baller, she wouldn't be visiting you. You're walking around thinking you're hard with your bandana. You don't run ish. The government owns your manor. You and your boys been bragging about an AK. Well then you should be pointing your guns at the KKK. Bro, you being brainwashed to hate me and hate you. And bro, if you hate me, then trust me, you hate you. Walking around with your screw face, acting all mean. I bet you can't name me one black king or queen. Nah, cause you been brainwashed ever since a teen. But I bet you know Prince William and Elizabeth the Queen. And Tony Blair, Bush, Obama, Osama. Them man worship the devil, they soon see karma. Actually, the hood ain't got no gun factory. So how do you all get there? They can't grow naturally. They make guns, give it to us, and we get 5 years mandatory. Then men like us get caught up in this big fantasy. Me and you will kill each other like a bunch of wankers, not knowing the whole world is run by the bankers. Liberal Dems, conservative Labour, selling us fake dreams. I bet you didn't know they all work for the same team. Did you know people are sacrificing human life for fame and music? Gangster rappers having gay orgies for Mason causes. They're pissed I done Black Empire and caused a storm. They talk behind my back but fear me in the physical form. I heard the government's out to get me, but my spirit won't let me shut my mouth, so don't be surprised the police come and arrest me. Knowledge is power, and none of them come.
Alright, catch me on the rebound, holla one, peace!
Amiga Radio, 104.1 FM. News and views around your community.
This is the OmegaRadio.co.uk news at 11.
Please give me a call back. If you don't, I'm going to put you out there on Front Street. Alright, so give me a call. Alright, now real quick, we should be having members of the group called G.A.N.G, and that would be Supersonic, Ashley Flash, the one that actually started the thing called Gaining a New Generation, right? Now, somebody had asked me about last week and the Kennington March with the gang. Now, I was running late, so I reached out there at 5:30, alright? But they had left from the Overton because it was supposed to be in Kennington, so that they could meet to march to Brixton. Remember I said I wasn't going, but I ended up going, alright? So I was there waiting for Flash to give me a call back, that's Supersonic Flash, but he got caught up, so I decided to go up into Brixton. It was pouring with rain, alright? When he finally told me, he said it was in the estate. And I'm saying, well, okay, there's enough people in the estate to address this problem. Alright, so I just came home. Alright? So, as I said, and I'm not hearing from you. Was it 4262? Don't let me have to call you. Alright, I'm put you out there on Front Street. 4262. Alright? So, this is where we at. Let me see if I can bring this up. Where you at?
Yo, my people, this is a G.A.N.G, the new generation announcement. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th, 2 p.m. Kilburn Park, we are going to be linking up. I said tomorrow, Friday the 13th, 2 p.m. Kilburn Park, we are going to be linking up to do the Northwest West London Rider. As you know what we've been doing already. We've been to North London, Tottenham, we've been to Hackney, we've been to South London. Tomorrow, we are going to be in Northwest West London. So all of our people from the Northwest London community that wants to come out and support us in what we stand for, which is the youth, come and support us. Tomorrow 2 p.m. Kilburn Park Station is the link up. All of our brothers and sisters that came out the north, east and south, feel free to come and link up with us and join us out there on the front line, because you know what we do, yeah? So all I'm going to say is G.A.N.G, guide the new generation.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Alright, I got the one and only, yes, Mr. Supersonic, Ashley Flash himself. Alright, and I was asking you, good morning, how you doing, son?
I'm good, man. I'm good now. Just, we're just planning for later on today, as you know. So.
No, what is later on today? Could you elaborate, expound on that for me, please?
Basically, what's happening? We're actually coming to NW, meeting up at Kensal Park Station.
No, Kilburn Park.
No, Kilburn.
Yeah,
Kilburn.
Kilburn Park.
Yeah.
You said Kensal. Kilburn Park. Okay.
Yeah, Kilburn Park. Sorry, forgive me. Kilburn
and
Park.
Who is
Station.
we?
We're an organisation called guiding a new generation, but we go by the acronym G.A.N.G. And basically what we do, we're an organization that there's a forgotten demographic of our society, which is the worst youth. So whether they carry knives, whether they sell drugs, whether they're in and out of prison, whether they have mental health issues, basically us, who I was yesterday. And the members of G.A.N.G, you know, we have experience in these things and we try to rise up. So we're not perfect, but we know that there's a demographic there that are forgotten about. So we design strategies and turn them into initiatives so we can actually guide a new generation. So our target audience is not the average. Our target audience can be said to the ones who I say are society sufferers because of the environments that they have found themselves in, so they can only do no better than what they do. But what we're here to show is that whatever you do, you're still great no matter what you've gone through, and you can have an exit plan if you plan it in. So we're trying to engage these kind of things, but we're just real guerrillas. We're not like a normal organization. We're not a talking organization. We're a listening organization, stroke movement. We're a testing organization, stroke movement. But the most greatest thing that I'm proud of is that makes us stand different from other organizations is we're a doing organization, stroke movement, and we're self-funded. In fact, I don't even really want no funding because I'm Marcus Garvey's world's greatest #1 fan. So I want to implement economic structures, and I'm working off the principles of self-reliance. And I don't know. Like everybody forgets about Marcus Garvey, and he's the missing key. That's what I feel. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can march and protest like we're doing roadblocks. We're going to areas where gang life is rife, and we're going in with the man them who know them man there. So it's only gorillas we deal with. We don't deal with no chimpanzees because chimpanzees have had leadership for long enough now. And we don't see none of the results. They get a certain level and then they sell us out. So you'll never, one thing I can guarantee you'll never see Supersonic Ashley Flash with any initials after his name, like MBE, CBE, nothing like that. Because they haven't even apologized for what has gone on. So what we do, culture is lost. So this is why there's anarchy in our community and culture. So it must be culture first. It has to be, because that's the thing that's missing. Brotherly love. Each one teach one.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Right. What I wanted to ask you is that you've been around the place. That last video I saw you was in Kennington Park. And
yeah, we went to Kennington, yeah.
And when you go into these estates, I noticed that it's not like you standing up there and it was pouring with rain. I was supposed to turn up. I did turn up, but remember I got kind of lost something.
Come on, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
But you're standing up in the rain with a, what you call it, a mic, what you call that thing there? A microphone thing, right?
Oh, it's called a megaphone. It's called a megaphone.
Thank you, a megaphone. All right. And it's not like you standing up there whispering. You'll be shouting out and hugging the people and that's supposed to be in this gang culture. Is that correct? And telling them that you love them. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more? Actually, what you do when you go to
you see what it is. You see what it is, yeah? I'm not going to lie, yeah? Right? I chose the ghetto. The ghetto didn't choose me because I grew up in a place called Fulton East, and my mum and my dad are still together today, even though my mum's got Alzheimer's, yeah? My dad is my mum's chief carer. He won't let nobody look after his wife. He does. My mum can't walk nor talk no more because of Alzheimer's, yeah? And my dad...
to hear that.
Yeah, but it's very sad to hear that, but it's the thing that drives me. Because my character, if you know my character, it's a gorilla character. But that character, it's not mine, it's my mother's. My mother's character is a gorilla. And
okay.
So me and my sister are different. So my sister has taken more of my dad's caring side, and then I've been blessed with my mum's. I call it the gorilla. So we're not frightened of nobody.
Right.
We're not frightened of nothing. I don't care how much guns you got. I don't care how much knives you got. You're my brother. And if I'm coming at you from the tip that we're guiding a new generation, we're gang, and I'm a gorilla, and I'm Marcus Garvey's world's greatest #1 fan, you're supposed to understand where I'm coming from. But a you is not going to understand that. But a you will understand love, whether it's tough love, ghetto love, they'll understand love. So what we do, we engage with them. Basically, we always send in people before who's in the local area. So we don't just go and trampede on people's thing.
Okay.
So we find out the local guerrillas and see if they want to engage in us. So basically, we're practicing African principles from back in the day. Like when you had one tribe and another tribe, what they'll do, they'll send out envoys to go and speak to the envoys, and then the envoys have a talk, and then they go back to the chiefs, and then the chiefs say whatever they do, and then the envoys come back and say, yeah, we can have the meeting.
So you get a warm reception from what we would regard as people in the school of hard knocks, the gangsters, the thugs, and the hooligans.
No, we've had a couple of arguments. And the funny thing is, the women jumped in. So you see the woman them? Big up all women, big up all warrior class women, big up all the women who have lost everything, but they still never gave up hope in our community, in our culture. I want them to hang firm and strong.
Would you like me to give them, before you go any further, would you like me to give them a round of applause for y'all?
Come on, man, big enough round of nice. Hey. Big them up, because you see what I've noticed since I've come into this, has the Boogs called you yet?
Excuse me?
Boogs Negus.
No, I've not. No, he hasn't.
Right. So I'd like him to come in on this, because this is an initiative that we're running.
Well, what you can do is I'll
texting him now.
And I'll get you back in a minute. All right. So here, what I'm going to do. I'm going to play something, and I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, crowd of people, hold tight. Oh, wait a minute. That might be him. Hold up.
I've just said cool now.
All right, come on, answer. Phone, answer. Let's see. Good morning, Books.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sonic Flash. Sonic Flash. Why is it not merging? Sonic Flash. Books.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, it won't. Let me see. Swap. And I'm trying to. That's Flash. Flash. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now it's supposed to give me the merge capability. I have conference. So why is it not going?
No, you got to put me on hold, and then it says merge calls.
Let me see if I can do that. Because it says
put me on hold. He's calling you. You put me on hold, and then it'll say merge calls. And then when you say merge calls, then you press it. Then it'll bring us both together.
Hold up. Bugs. Hold up 1 second. I'm just trying to sort this out. Conference. Now it's saying conference. Now it says swap. Transfer. Please. Unable to transfer. Conference. And then it goes to conference. Unable to make conference call. Alright, so here's what.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to flash you back on forward. You ain't going to hear, but I'm calling you in. So I'm going to give him like 3 minutes and I'll get back to you then. Alright, Flash? So I'm going to do a swap.
All I want you to say to Boogs, is tell him what we're trying to do with the women. We're an organisation.
All right, here's what you do. Write this number down. I'm going to get to Boogs. Boogs.
Yo, hello.
Stay on the line once. I'm trying to get another number because my conference ain't working for some reason or another.
No problem. No problem. Holding.
All right, so hold tight. You got a pen? Take your time. It's all right. All right.
Hold on. Let me do it again. What?